I put this shit on Jay Prince. I put this shit on Senior. My little nigga from Mississippi smacked the fuck out of Junior.
Jay Prince Jr. was out in Houston moving like he owned the whole city, walking with that same untouchable energy his pops built back in the day, acting like he ran every corner, every block, like nobody could ever check him. But one of Rap-A-Lot's own artists wasn't having it. Dude caught Jay Jr. slipping and almost sent him to meet his maker for refusing to release him from that contract.
Oh my grandma, you got that chain on to my smacking me? When I wouldn't let Shank it. I add little Shank on this bitch. Junior did like he. I'll let.
This ain't just some rumor. This might be one of the wildest street justice stories hip-hop has seen in years. Before we dive into that viral footage everyone's been whispering about, we gotta rewind and break down exactly how this madness started, because this whole thing is straight up unbelievable. First off, let's talk about Rap-A-Lot Records and the whole empire behind it. Once you see how this machine is set up, everything else is gonna click, trust me. So Rap-A-Lot Records, that's Jay Prince Sr.'s legacy right there. The man built this label from the ground up back in the day, putting Houston on the map when nobody in the industry was even giving the South a chance. They had legends like Scarface, the Ghetto Boys, and a lineup that defined an entire era of Southern rap. Houston owes a lot of its respect in the rap game to that movement. But here's the wild part. These days, artists in Houston don't even want to sign with Rap-A-Lot anymore. The same label that once ruled the South, now up-and-coming rappers are keeping their distance. Sounds crazy, right? But there's a real reason behind it, and it's not just talk. See, the way Rap-A-Lot is built is straight up predatory, man. They come for you when you're hungry, when you're struggling, when you're facing cases or trying to feed your family. They flash that advance money and sell your dreams. We'll give you protection, promotion, connections. But what they don't say is that once you sign, you're basically trapped. That contract is like signing your soul away.
Whoa! Oh my grandma, boy, we don't even play like that. Shit, I don't never do that. Get what Junior said? Nigga flew to the door. That nigga flew to the other side of the door on my grandma's grave flew. Nigga, what the? I like that look.
Imagine giving up 90% of your music revenue. Yeah, 90%. You do the work, risk your life, put your talent on the line, and they take nearly everything you make. That's not business, that's modern day exploitation. And it doesn't stop there. They control your YouTube, your streaming, everything that could make you independent. It's wild to even think about. They set you up with these third-party companies like Create Music Group to handle your payments. But really, they just toss you crumbs while pocketing the real money. You sitting behind bars or barely scraping by, and they out on private islands popping bottles and living lavish. The streets been whispering about this for years. It ain't no secret anymore. That's exactly why the new generation of Houston rappers wants nothing to do with them. These young artists would rather grind on their own their masters, and build their own empires that let somebody else take 90% of what they earn. Be real, would you ever take a job where your boss snatches 90% of your paycheck? No way. That's why you hear Houston rappers saying, nah, I'm straight, I'll stay independent. They've seen too many people get chewed up and spit out by that system, and they refuse to make the same mistake. But there's one artist who learned that lesson the hardest way possible, and his name is Honeycomb Brazzy. Yeah, this is where things start to spiral out of control. Honeycomb Brazzy, real name Nantro Jones, came up from Mobile, Alabama. And man, his story is heartbreaking and raw. He came from nothing. Back in 2021, tragedy hit him hard. His grandparents were murdered and their home was set on fire in what people said was retaliation for some street beef Brazzy had with rival crews. His pops is serving life behind bars, and his mom was fighting to survive in the Happy Hills projects. Brazzy was surrounded by struggle, pain, and survival instincts since day one.
Working as a bodyguard for a Mobile rapper known as Honeycomb Brazzy, pleading guilty today to a federal gun charge. Miguel Hall pleading to being a felon, convicted in possession of a firearm. That charge stems from a traffic stop from a Mobile County Sheriff deputy on I-65 in December. Hall admitted he was not allowed to have a gun because of 4 prior felony convictions in Texas. Officers found an AR pistol near where he...
See, Mobile, Alabama ain't like most places. It's a city where if you don't hustle, you don't eat. Violence runs deep. Opportunities are rare, and the system feels like it's built to keep you trapped. That kind of pressure turns people cold. It builds a mindset where the only way out feels like going all in. Then in 2020, everything changed. Brazzy dropped a freestyle video that went viral overnight. Millions of views. The streets were rocking with him. Fans were quoting his lines, and his name started buzzing everywhere. That's when J. Prince Sr. came calling. Now, just picture this. You're Brazzy, young, hungry, grieving, and carrying the weight of your whole family on your back. You've lost loved ones, the block's still watching, and suddenly a hip-hop legend steps up offering you a record deal that could change your life forever. What would you do? So in the summer of 2020, Honeycomb Brazzy signs with Rap-A-Lot Records, thinking this was his ticket to finally change his life. They welcome him with open arms and drop that signature mob ties chain around his neck. Not just some regular jewelry, but a heavy gold piece that says, "You're part of the family now." Next thing you know, he's in music videos, riding shotgun with J. Prince in a white Rolls-Royce Phantom, Houston skyline shining bright in the back. Brazzy was feeling on top of the world, like all the pain and struggle finally paid off. In his mind, this was it. He was about to hire a lawyer to fight his pop's life sentence, buy his mom a house far away from the projects in Alabama, and finally lift his family out of that never-ending struggle of struggle. Brazzy even said it himself. He didn't sign for the clout or the fame. He just wanted to take care of his family, plain and simple. That's all he ever wanted. But then, everything took a wild turn. After signing that deal, J. Prince told him, "Don't worry, we got you. You're family now. You're mob ties." Sounds like a dream, right? Wrong. What if I told you the security they gave him wasn't even real? I'm dead serious. The so-called security team they put around Brazzy was a total scam. Instead of hiring professional licensed bodyguards, they brought in dudes straight from the streets, actual gang members, threw them in a car with Brazzy and labeled them as security so the company could write it off as a business expense on their taxes. That's the kind of shady finesse they were running. These weren't trained guards. They were just regular street guys carrying heat, pretending to be official so the label could look legit on paper. And the worst part? Brazzy didn't even know what was going on because he trusted them completely. He thought the label had his back, that they were really protecting him. Then one December day in 2023, everything blew up. Brazzy was cruising down I-65 near Crayola in a Cadillac Escalade with his so-called security team when the cops pulled him over. Now here's where things get absolutely insane. When the police lights hit, those fake security guards started panicking and handing their guns to Brazzy. We're talking a 9mm pistol and an AR pistol, both being passed to him like it was nothing. Can you imagine that mess? They start literally shoving the guns into his hands, saying, "These yours, bro, these yours." Like what? Brazzy's sitting there confused out of his mind. His DNA ain't on no straps, his fingerprints ain't on them, and he barely even knows these dudes. He just met them after getting out of prison not too long ago. But once the cops search the car and find the weapons, guess who ends up taking the fall? Honeycomb Brazzy. No shocker, right? He's sitting there thinking he's protected, thinking the label's looking out for him, and these fake security guards just lined him up to be the fall guy. And the wildest part? Those fake security dudes walked away free, not a single charge. The big heavyset one, Brazzy even called out by name, still walking the streets like nothing ever happened. Now here's what makes Brazzy different. He could have easily snitched. He could have told the cops straight up, "Those ain't my guns. Those belong to the dudes Rap-A-Lot hired to protect me." But instead, he kept quiet. He took the charge and pled guilty, not because he was guilty, but because he refused to be labeled a snitch. He knew if he pointed fingers, it could cost him his life, especially going up against that kind of power. But it gets even deeper. Brazzy said he had proof, real self-defense documentation for everything that happened before. He claimed it was all in black and white. Someone kicked in his door and he had to protect himself. That's what the paperwork said. Yet even with that, he still took the plea deal, because fighting it in court would have meant exposing who actually hired those so-called security guards, and that could have ended badly for him on the outside and inside. Think about that for a second. This man is doing time right now for something tied to fake security that Rap-A-Lot set up. And where's Jay Prince while all this is happening? Chilling on a yacht somewhere, living his best life, probably not even blinking at what's going down. It's beyond crazy. But here's where the story flips again. From his prison cell, Brazzy finally snaps. He decides he's done staying quiet and goes off. While locked up in federal prison, he hops on a video call and lets loose, exposing everything about Rap-A-Lot Records in the rawest way possible. No filters, no coded talk, he went straight scorched earth. He called him out for everything, the fake deals, the shady contracts, the lies, and then he drops a bombshell that had everyone's jaw on the floor. He said, "Y'all made me sign a deal with Create Music Group for $200,000 while I was locked up, knowing I was desperate." He said they turned around and made $10 million off his music and he never saw a single dime. 90% of his earnings gone just like that. Let that sink in. They made $10 million off his blood, sweat, and talent and threw him a weak $200K while he was behind bars. That's beyond grimy. That's robbery dressed up as business. And the worst part? It's all happening while he's sitting in a cell, realizing the empire he trusted might have been playing him from the day one. Like $200K was supposed to make it all okay? That's not even 2% of what they made off his back. And the wild part? They actually acted like they were doing him a favor. Brazzy was sitting in that prison cell losing his mind, yelling, "Give me my YouTube back. That's my money. That's my channel." Meanwhile, Create Music Group was out here collecting all his revenue, tossing him whatever crumbs they felt like sending. That's straight up disrespect. He said they even took over his whole digital presence, every video, every stream, every penny, and he couldn't do anything about it from behind bars. But it gets even messier. Brazzy claimed he was the one who brought Finesse 2 times to Rap-A-Lot. Yeah, you heard that right. He said he put Finesse on, introduced him to the label, and that move alone made Rap-A-Lot another $10 million. And guess what Brazzy got from it? Nothing. No finder's fee, no percentage, not even a simple thank you. That's straight up grimy. And it didn't stop there. When Brazzy got out of prison the first time, you'd think the label would have shown love, right? Maybe a welcome home party, cameras, private jet, something? Nah, they didn't do a thing for him. No Jay Prince, no Baby J, no celebration, nothing. He walked out those gates alone and went straight back to Mobile like he never existed to them. But when Finesse 2 times came home, oh man, they went all out. Private jet waiting on the runway, mob ties, banners flying, iced out watch gifts, shopping sprees, turkey leg feasts, the whole show. They posted everything on Instagram like it was a royal homecoming. Cameras everywhere, big smiles, the label flexing like they just brought a king back to his throne. Brazzy saw all that and was like, "Hold up, I'm the one who brought him to y'all and you rolled out the red carpet for him but left me hanging?" That's when it hit him. He'd been getting played the whole time. That's how they operate. They'll treat one artist like royalty and treat the next one like he's disposable, all while snatching 90% from both. It's not about loyalty, it's about control, manipulation, and keeping artists dependent on them. But here's the twist. Late 2023 comes around and something unexpected happens. Brazzy and Finesse 2 times hop on FaceTime to clear the air. Instead of arguing, they start comparing notes, and boom, they both realize the same thing. They've both been getting finessed by Rap-A-Lot. Suddenly, it all starts making sense. The shady paperwork, the missing money, the fake promises that never get delivered. Finesse probably looked at his statements like, wait, where's all my money going? And that's when the light bulb went off for both of them. So instead of beefing with each other, they decide to stand together against the label that's been playing both sides. That's major. 2 artists who were once ready to go to war with each other now realizing they've got a common enemy, the label that was supposed to be helping them. That's some real growth right there. And Brazzy even said it himself during the live. "I made more money in 1 week with my new music connect than I made my entire time with Rap-A-Lot." That says everything. The moment he stepped away from that system, he finally started winning on his own terms. Let that sink in for a second. 1 week of independent grinding, and Brazzy made more than he did after years under that label. That's wild. This is the real power of owning your own work, gang. When you're independent, yeah, maybe you don't pull in crazy millions right away, but what you do make, you actually keep. That's the part they don't want artists to realize. It's not about making the most, it's about keeping what's yours. Now here's the part everybody's been waiting for, the footage that's blowing up the internet right now. Fast forward to 2024, Honeycomb Brazzy is still stuck trying to get out of his Rap-A-Lot contract. He's been asking, begging, even demanding his release, but they keep saying no. They refuse to let him go. Brazzy even said he wanted to sign with Birdman and Cash Money, just like Drake did when he left Rap-A-Lot back in the Bay. But instead of letting him move on, they're holding him hostage under that paperwork. You can hear the frustration in his voice. Man's fed up, and he's letting the whole world know it. He's been posting videos, going live, calling out Jay Prince and Rap-A-Lot by name, saying they won't let me feed my family. Now here's where the story takes a wild turn. What if I told you Brazzy ended up running into Jay Prince Jr. in Houston and his homie decided to handle it for him? No joke, this is what the streets are saying, and there's even footage flying around online right now. Word is, one of Brazzy's young homies from Mississippi caught Jay Prince Jr. lacking in Houston. No security, no backup, and straight up put hands on him. We're talking a real beatdown. No bodyguards, no mob ties protection, no dad to swoop in and save the day, just raw hands. And the craziest part? Brazzy himself jumped on Instagram Live and confirmed it. He was hyped, saying, "My little homie from Mississippi smacked the soul out of Junior." He even snapped his fingers just like that, like it was nothing, like it was the easiest thing in the world. You could see the pride all over his face. He even said, "My grandma said Junior got slapped just like that." Can you imagine that? Even his grandma was in on the story. The whole family was celebrating like it was a victory. So what started all this? Turns out, Jay Prince Jr. had reposted a freestyle from another rapper, one who was throwing shade directly at Brazzy. So from Brazzy's perspective, that was pure disrespect, especially since Rap-A-Lot was still keeping him chained up in that slave contract. To him, it wasn't just a repost, it was a public betrayal. That's when things hit the breaking point. In Brazzy's eyes, Jay Prince Jr. was co-signing his enemies and keeping him trapped. That's double disrespect. So when his homie caught Junior slipping, he saw it as payback, not just for the contract, but for every slick move and every silent insult along the way.
Now, Jay Prince Jr. tried to play it cool after everything went down. He posted something calm on social media like, "I got no hate for Brazzy, I'm praying he gets right, y'all keep it respectful," trying to look like the bigger man, take the high road, right? But let's be real, the streets already know what went down. You can't unring that bell once it's out there. And honestly, if we're being real, Jay Prince Jr. was never built for that kind of smoke anyway. This man grew up with a silver spoon, nice houses, private schools, his daddy's name protecting him from every storm. He's been surrounded by respect because of who his father is, not because of what he's done. Meanwhile, Honeycomb Brazzy came from the trenches, Happy Hills projects, where struggle was daily life. While Junior was living easy, Brazzy was out there dodging bullets and fighting to survive. Two completely different worlds, and when they finally clashed, reality showed exactly who was built for it and who wasn't. Jay Prince Jr. was out here living in mansions with private security, while Honeycomb Brazzy was out in the streets losing his grandparents to violence. Two completely different realities. Junior was flying out on vacations, posting luxury shots, living easy, while Brazzy was watching his family fall apart and trying to make it out of survival mode. These two come from entirely different worlds, but here's the thing. When you play with people's lives, when you mess with their money, and when you trap them in contracts while they're just trying to feed their families, karma always circles back when the protection's gone. And that's exactly what went down. Jay Prince Jr. got caught without his usual security, without his daddy's shadow to hide behind, and reality hit him hard, literally. All that mob ties talk, all that big energy, and when it was time to stand on it, he couldn't deliver. The streets don't care about your last name or your daddy's power. When it's your time to face the music, it's your time. Then something strange happened. All of Brazzy's posts about the situation suddenly vanished from Instagram. Just like that, gone. Word on the street is that J. Prince Sr. made a few quiet calls and got everything scrubbed. That right there shows you the kind of reach and influence he's got. He can make social media posts disappear like they never existed. But you can't delete the memory from people's minds, and the streets don't forget. Now, let's step back for a second and look at the bigger picture, because this story is deeper than just one fight or one viral clip. This whole thing is about artists finally standing up to predatory labels. It's about people saying, "I'm done letting you finesse me." It's about street justice stepping in when the legal system looks the other way. Honeycomb Brazzy tried to do things the right way at first. He stayed quiet, stayed loyal, didn't snitch when that gun case came around. He could have aired everybody out back then, but he didn't. And how did Rap-A-Lot repay him? By continuing to drain his pockets, by keeping him locked into that one-sided contract, by treating him like his talent meant nothing. That's the definition of betrayal. And here's the sad truth. The music industry's been running this same playbook forever. From the old Motown days to Death Row to the early Cash Money era, labels have been exploiting artists since day one. It's the same story with a new cast every generation. But the difference now? Social media flipped the power dynamic. Artists don't gotta wait decades to tell their stories. They can expose the game in real time. So when the lawyers can't help, when every meeting leads to another dead end, and when all the peaceful routes fail, what's left? The streets step in. And that's exactly what happened here. I'm not saying violence is the answer, but when someone's been pushed to their breaking point, when you take food out their family's mouth and profit off their pain, something's bound to happen. People can only take so much before they snap. And honestly, it didn't even have to get to this point. If Rap-A-Lot had just treated their artists with fairness, gave them reasonable splits, showed real support while they were locked up, or even just let Brazzy walk when he asked, this whole situation could have been avoided. But greed took over. They wanted 90% of everything, full control of every move, every dollar, every piece of these artists' lives.
Now it's coming back to bite them. The same power they used to keep people down is starting to crumble right in front of them. Imagine if they had just given Brazzy a fair 50-50 deal, stood by him when he needed him most, showed up at his court dates, and respected his request to leave. None of this chaos would have gone down. But when you keep playing with real people's livelihoods, eventually the streets will answer back loud and clear. See, if Rap-A-Lot had just done right by their artist, none of this would have ever happened. Junior wouldn't have gotten checked, the label's reputation would still be spotless, and everyone could have walked away winning. But nah, they wanted to squeeze every last penny out of Brazzy, and look where that greed got him. Now fast forward. Honeycomb Brazzy just got out of prison after serving 2.5 years on that gun charge. Yeah, the same guns that weren't even his. The question now is, will Rap-A-Lot finally let him go? Or are they still gonna keep him locked up in that contract, holding him hostage while he's trying to rebuild his life? Could there be more smoke brewing between them? Nobody knows yet. But one thing's for sure, Brazzy ain't backing down. He said he's standing on all 10 toes, and if you've been following this story, you already know he means that. What's clear is that this entire situation has opened a lot of eyes to how shady the music industry really can be. Especially those old school labels still moving like it's the 1990s. They're stuck on the same outdated hustle, still trapping young artists with slick talking deals and family loyalty speeches while cashing out behind the scenes. But artists today, they're smarter, sharper, and way more independent. They're owning their masters, building their own brands, and refusing to sign those paper chains that keep them trapped. Look at artists like Russ, Tech-9, and Macklemore. They built entire empires without the backing of a major label. They kept control of their music, their money, and their movement. That's the new blueprint. Meanwhile, labels like Rap-A-Lot, they're turning into dinosaurs, stuck in the past trying to run the same scams that worked 30 years ago. But the game done changed. Information is out there now. You can Google how to read a record contract. You can hire your own entertainment lawyer. You can educate yourself before signing anything. That's real power. The lesson here is simple. Read your contracts, get your paperwork checked, and never sign something out of desperation. Because if a deal sounds too good to be true, 9 times out of 10, it is. Brazzy thought he was signing that deal to save his family, but instead, it landed him in prison, fighting not just for his freedom, but for the rights to his own music and money. That's a harsh reality check and a cautionary tale every young artist needs to hear. And for Jake Prince Jr., there's a lesson in all this too. Your daddy's reputation can only protect you for so long. Eventually, you gotta stand on your own name. You can't hide behind power forever, because when you play dirty, the streets will catch up. Respect isn't inherited, it's earned through how you move, how you treat people, and how you handle your business. This whole saga is more than a rap beef. It's a wake-up call about power, loyalty, and survival in the music industry. It's proof that being tied in don't mean nothing if you don't stand on integrity. So what do you think, gang? Should I break down more of these label scandals and expose more of these behind-the-scenes stories that the industry don't want you to hear? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you want to see next. Maybe we dig into other predatory label deals, or maybe I break down some real-life contract horror stories. It's up to you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment if you're rocking with this breakdown. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into hip-hop drama and industry secrets. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay alert, stay smart, and as always, stay dangerous, gang. Peace.